opportunities. One, we have a lot of problems, a risk. Even when you're not be able to be more protected. Once you come out, there are risks everywhere. That is exactly how it is in the digital world. You have a door, digital world. If you open it, the moment you use your phone, you open your phone, and then you switch on your data, automatically you are in the cyber world. And your door is open. Any person can have access to you. So there are a lot of risks. You know, somebody can just be walking, and then you step on a wet floor. You can slip and fall. That's the risk. Nobody pushes you. Nothing happens. Just on your own. The same way we have these things in the cyber world. So we'll talk about cyber crime, which are there. We'll talk about misinformation, and we'll talk about addiction, and then we'll talk about digital abuse. These are very serious issues that are all there. And I hope we all know that there is a cyber law that is enacted in Nigeria now. So that when we talk about things like spoofing, sniffing, phishing, social engineering, and so on, hacking, bullying, all of them, they are crimes. And they may look very simple, but they have almost the same weight of when these things are done physically. If you fight with somebody and injure the person physically, there is a penalty for that. You can do that digitally, and there's also a penalty for that. Somebody in a group, this happened in the US, somebody posted his business, and then another person unliked it. You know, instead of liking the opposite, he sued that person that because of what his business is not flourish. And that person was fined. So that we understand how these things can be. Okay, next slide. So our issue now is how can we use these things responsibly so that instead of getting us into problems, it elevates us, it builds us, it makes us prosperous. That is what it is. There is very serious power in the internet. Digitization empowers us. For example, there are people who are so shy, they cannot come up publicly to talk, but they can talk in social media. That is it. You may not be a good writer. Today now we have a lot of writing tools. You write and they correct you and post it well. That's it. Sometimes you want to coin out something that, you know, we have all these tools, but we don't even know how to really use them responsibly. How many of us have ChatGPT in our phones? How many persons have it? ChatGPT. What do you use it for? Plagiarism. Are you using it for plagiarism? What do you use it for? You know, ChatGPT is an expert. It's an expert system. I belong to what we call the generative algorithm AI. So it's able to check on internet, get facts, and then put it for you. But you know that not everything that is on the internet is what? Correct. So that is where we are coming to now. Using these tools responsibly. What is the commonest social media tool that we use?
WhatsApp.
Google. Google what? Google is not a tool. Google is a company. But Google have a lot of tools. For example, Google Meet is a tool for collaboration, for meeting. So which tool do you use most? Which social media tool do you use?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. And which other one?
Facebook.
Facebook. Instagram. They are coming up. TikTok. Twitter. Who is saying Bluetooth? Yes. Bluetooth is also a tool. It's not true. Snapchat. Somebody said YouTube. Yes. Snapchat. Good. Now let me ask you. Who can tell me one good thing that WhatsApp have done for you or you have used it to do? Yes.
I've used WhatsApp to market my products and take sales.
Thank you. Please clap for her. She has used WhatsApp to market her tools, to use it as a marketing platform, and then she made sales from it. Mm-hmm. Who's the other person? Pass information to be a baby. Answer them. Yeah, what's today now everybody is a journalist. Omega. Put it. Happening live, breaking news. Everywhere. Viral. Who have made money with Snapchat here? Let me see. Nobody. Who have made money with Twitter here? Nobody. Who have made money with Instagram here? Okay, come on, again. I will share money with me. You see, these are tools meant for making money. The algorithm for TikTok in China is not the same that the algorithm for TikTok in Nigeria. Are you aware? TikTok in China is used for education. Here is used for what? Pornography. Facebook, same thing. When federal government placed a ban on Twitter some years back, some young men were crying because they were losing money. Yes, I had a program already. I was invited on to go to FM to come and talk on that with one young guy that was also a social media expert. They were counting their losses because they use that avenue to trade, to do international trade. How many persons here have PayPal account? PayPal. Do you have the account? Do you know about it?
If you raise you carry.
Oh, what's up?
If you raise
And then what's the problem with that? Early in the morning, somebody will wake up by 5 a.m. on their WhatsApp from 5 a.m. to 6:30. That 6:30 is by God's grace. So people wake up by at night and they will press WhatsApp all the coming there. Any young person who lives in WhatsApp without the aim of making positive impact from it is wasting his or her time. You know, have you ever asked yourself, do you know what's the shape of the earth? Is the earth flat?
No.
It's not flat, right? Have you ever asked yourself why we have day and night? Do you know why?
Rotation of the earth.
Do you know that there's a part of the world, this earth we're in, there's a part of it that have 6 months daylight, 6 months night. Are you aware?
Yes.
Above Norway, towards the northern hemisphere. So supposing the earth just stops, no movement, just stops, what will happen? Some of you will find yourself in Mars, some in Jupiter. Yes, because what is holding us is that rotation of the earth, that spinning. Then have the centrifugal and the central whatever force that is pulling us towards the earth. And then as the earth is rotating and spinning, we now have day and night. And it's not waiting for you. So time is very important, very precious. But time is the most precious thing on earth. Because once that's why you see once you die, what are people like on earth, where there's no more position of day and night? He said it's eternity. People in the other world, they don't know whether there is day or night. He said that is always day or it's always night. If you go to the other side of what they call hell, it's night, no sun is coming there, so everywhere is night all day. But if you were able to get to the side of light where God is, then it's day all through. So when you are alive here on earth, time does not wait for you. And because of that turning on that time, that makes you age. That's what makes you get older. Because you can't it as the day goes by. Therefore, if you now waste this time on things that will not really help you, using tools that human beings have made to make you better, now you use it wrongly, you are wasting your time and you will never get there. And that is the reason why what is present now, the scam or the otherwise, get rich quick. I don't make am, I must have, I must this. Very poor and shallow understanding of life. And sometimes I laugh because by the grace of God, I have been to different parts of the world. One of the greatest day I was shocked in my life was when two Americans were quarreling in the aeroplane. You know what they were quarreling about? Looking down on a window. That was a flight from Bangkok to Dubai. So I don't know what happened that day. I just finished praying, and when I was about to board, I was the only black man. I was not anywhere. White. I was the only black man. So I went to one corner of the airport, plugged my phone, and prayed. Just as I finished praying, they called us for checking in, and then the lucky thing that happened was that they collected my boarding pass. After 5 minutes, came back, gave it to me, and gave me first class on Emirates airline. At first, I didn't appreciate it. When I entered the airplane, first class, entered the aeroplane, I was confused. Then I sat down, I was enjoying everything. Two men were quarreling who will stay on the window inside the aeroplane. Meanwhile, I was inside the aeroplane, who will stay on the window. So you can see how certain things we see as important and not important. Let me drop it there. Next slide, please. So these are these are the 5 pillars of using computer responsibly or digital life responsibly. Go back. One is we have to be literate digitally. There's no phone school. I'm not saying somebody who say I bought a new phone, so I went to the phone school to learn how to use phone. I'm not saying that. So you see, most of us are illiterate when we use our phone, or how we don't use our phone. And that one is very, very important one: cyber security and data protection. Very important. Then we talk about responsible social media use. We talk about digital wellness, being well digitally. And then finally, we talk about what? Innovation and value creation. Next slide. So, what do we mean by digital literacy? To understand how to use technology effectively and safely. That's 1. 2. Knowing how to research, filter information, and protect one's digital footprint. Remember what I told you? The cyber world is like the physical world, just that it's virtual. So, as you move, you have a footprint. You create footprints, and you have to know how to wipe your footprints. Otherwise, you become vulnerable because somebody can trace you and see where you're going to. You know, there are 2 parts of this internet we're seeing. There is what we call the dark web. You are using the normal web, you know. There are people who are not just like in life, who have wishes. We will operate in another realm. Exactly like that. You know, the internet is a black box. What I mean black box, it means that you don't see how it operates. You only get the result. I send email, who is received there? I send you data, you receive it. How did they move is not your business. So call that kind of system a black box system. So you have to understand that. Then again, when I talk about this filtering information and then protecting oneself, very important. So before you do anything on the internet, before you make any post, you do what? Think. T is for what? Is it true? Take it for what? Is it helpful? I is for what? Is it inspiring? N is for what? Is it necessary? And K is for what? Is it kind? Once you apply this formula, think before you make any post, you see that you're making meaningful posts. Next slide. Because not everything you see on the internet is true. Now, cybersecurity and data protection. Another very important area. I did a course recently in cybersecurity from April 28th to July 7th. And by the grace of God, I passed with distinction. We were 4,750 something persons that took that program. Many of us professors and high-ranking officers and many government officers. Not all of us passed. Many people did not pass. And this course exposed me to what cybersecurity is really all about. And part of the project, but at the end of the course, we wrote a project. Part of the proposals we made was that cybersecurity issues be taught even in secondary schools. It should be taught everywhere, in churches, in places like this. Let people be cyber aware. Let them be aware of the security that the risk that is out there. The moment you buy a phone, buy a SIM card, and you register it and get internet connected, you have exposed yourself to the cyber world. So it's just like building this house. Just these doors open, you're exposed. Somebody can come in, somebody can go out. That is exactly how it is in the cyber world. So we have to be aware. So I brought this in as part of what can help us to really understand our cybersecurity system. Because there are laws on Nigerian have laws on data protection. You know, when you see, when was this Navy, people selling motorcycles, they will say ISO certified. I hope you have seen that kind of thing. What's the meaning of ISO?
Standard Organization of Nigeria.
Standard International Standard Organization. That means there's a standard that they are followed, and that standard approved them to do that. In Nigeria, we have SON. What do you mean of SON?
Standard Organization
of Nigeria. By the grace of God, I am a member of SON Technical Committee on Information and Data Security. And we are reviewing data security acts in Nigeria now. And if you see the way these things were enacted, you find out that many of us are breaching people's data. We collect data from people without considering the implication of collecting data. The same way you give out data to people without knowing that you are taking a risk. That's why when you see most forms online, you see that some of them will put asterisk. That is a compulsory one. Even that one might not be necessary. But there are some very serious data that when we give them out, we don't know the implications. Your phone number, for example, is a very powerful tool, very powerful data. Are you aware? Your date of birth. Then let's also talk about BBN and PIN and so on. These are very powerful tools, data, that before you do them, have to be careful. So we look at safety, ensuring that a reliable copy of what you have is kept somewhere. We look at accessibility, being able to access that data that you have. We look at privacy, very important. Your privacy, is it protected? Are you protected? Is it still private? And then authenticity. What I'm giving, is it authentic? Is it real? Is it true? And then we talk about security. These are what we should consider once we're talking about cybersecurity and data protection. Next slide. So, responsible social media use. How do we use this social media responsibly? Using social media tools for networking, education, and entrepreneurship is not just gossip or cyberbullying. Posting with respect. Sometimes when we get into social media platforms, WhatsApp, we no longer remember that we have elders. We don't even know our seniors. We don't even know our younger ones. We don't know that there are things that certain age people with age limits should not be privy of. Even in our homes, how do we use this? How do we keep our phones? What do we show? Today, what is trending now is somebody will just keep his or her phone and be performing any kind of dance, irrespective of people who are around that place. And you post it anywhere you like. Sometimes it's your personal post, but it might be endangering some other persons. So you should be careful about that. And then, how do we use these things? What about hate speech? Realizing that internet does what? Never forgets. That thing that you have posted on the internet is in somebody's hand, and it can come up tomorrow. So that's why we have to think, remember that thing before we make any post. Some people will make a platform and they are number one. Once you put anything, they have typed, they have used voice notes. Before they go post to go for voice notes. Some people even abuse people even on the internet. Some people will bully people. What is cyberbullying? You know what is bullying?
Yes.
Somebody is afraid to come up or talk because of you. That is bullying. And it's a very serious offense. So, go and check them. I don't want to tell you myself. Go and check the cyber laws. None of them is 5 years, 2 years, 7 years imprisonment. And you will not understand what it means until you go to prison and come out. Go and just spend 3 days in prison. Not police cell where you have small hope. Prison. You understand? So we have to desist from this. We have to be very sure of what we are making as posts on any social media platform. These things should be used for possibility. Go on, next slide, please. So when we talk about innovation and value, that's what these things are supposed to be used for. That is what we now use responsibly. By using them to create jobs, using them to do your business, legitimate businesses. Then you go into fields like coding, AI, robotics, digital marketing, content creations. These create opportunities and empower us. AI is trending now. What's the meaning of AI? Artificial intelligence. And it makes it easy for you to know the computer more. You can learn coding even on your own. YouTube is there, a lot of topics, free lectures are there on the internet for you to start coding. It was 2 students of Bangkok University that wrote a program. And when they wrote that program, they were doing it like twice a day. Eventually that program was sold. That program is sold to InterSwitch. Go and find out how many million, not billion, that is sold that software. So coding is one of the most lucrative part of computer business. Coding. If you can code, I don't see this where you should be poor. Because it's not about solving problems. If you go to Google Play Store, Apple Store, all those programs you see there were written by people. And at the beginning it was free. You write something for free. People download the Play Store free. Today now, everything is subscribed for. I hope you know that. You subscribe. And when are you subscribed? What are you paying? You are paying somebody. Some years, I think that was 2022. Yes, 2022. A friend called me and said, please, I want to establish a cab taxi company in Anambra. Can you write the software for me? And then he's a friend. I asked him, how much can you pay? I didn't want to tell him price. I wanted to hear from him. He said that the truth is that somebody in Abuja told me that he will do it for 10 million. So I said, when he said that, I know that he has liked. I told him, I'm going to do that thing for 15 million. He said, please, come down. We have a matter of 15 million. So I now said, okay. I called one of my boys. I said, there's a golden job around. How much will you do it? He said, what is that? I said, it ties just like bolts, something like that. He said, okay, give us 3 million. I said, is that the final price? He said, is that 2.5? I said, no, I will give you 3 million. And I collected it at 9 million. Who made the game?
You did.
Eh? Well, who is learning the risk?
The person that collected. Okay.
Because I am in the middle. But the only reason why that was possible was because I too can code. So when he does, I will tell him, no, this is zero. If you don't want to do this job, I give that another set of people. Say, no, that correct it. We kept on refining, and eventually we had that job done. If you go to your Google Play Store, you see Lift Luxury. That's the name of the app. Lift Luxury. Some Google Play Store is an Apple store. But I think the business is not viable for the market in Anambra. But that is not our business. Our business is about done what you are asked to do, and we did it legitimately. And then if you go online, when we did that software, during the testing, Google showed us a lot of software like that and showed us that our own is looking like one of them, and we must differentiate it. Under homework. So what I'm saying here is that coding gives money, legitimate money, and a lot of problems here and there that needs to be coded. What is coding? What they say coding look like this. Something coding simply means using code. That means putting something in a particular language. That's the meaning of coding. Coding is programming. And programming is simply, if, for example, now you program yourself for today, you start from here, move here, go here, turn around, come here, then come back here. That is programming. Now putting it in a language, where we started this to come from. Put it in a language that the computer will understand. When you tell computer do this, computer will follow that and do all that. That is coding. So anybody can learn it. Whether you are young or you are old, you can learn it. Then you can make use of all these digital tools that are trending everywhere now. AI tools. AI have come to help. And now the bad guys are using AI too. So that's why you have to stay on top. Because if you enter there and you are just playing with it, people will smart you and use it negatively. And people can even blackmail you. Okay, next slide. So you have to create values for yourself, and then you now be sure that you are digital wellness, that you are comfortable in a digital world by managing screen addiction. Many of us are addicted to screen, and let us know which color is most prominent in screens. You can tell me.
White.
Which color is most prominent in screens? Blue. Blue. When you put your phone on eye care, what happens? You know what phones have what they call eye care? Yeah?
Okay.
When you set eye care, what happens? It becomes warmer. Because the yellowish, isn't it? Now that blue ray is the most harmful ray to the eyes. That's why we have a glasses that we call blue cuts. That blue cuts, when you make your glass medicated blue cuts, it will cut off blue light, which is more dangerous to your eyes. So when you use your food the more, now there are three things. One is danger of your eyes. Two is radiation. Know it today if you don't know before. That if you are making calls, at the first 5 minutes, the radiation have crossed half of your head. If you make call on the phone is in your ear for 5 minutes, the radiation you are getting have crossed half of your head. Especially when you are using all these China phones. You buy a phone, this one bought his phone 30,000, another one bought his phone 50,000, same type of phone. They're like, there's something different. And that's why when you're also buying phone, what's it called? Phone pouch. If you see anyone that has a cover that can cover the screen, that is better. That screen produces radiation in two ways. One is through the color, two is by the heat. When you are using phone, especially when I'm talking for a long time, it's when the phone becomes hot, isn't it? At that time, energy is emitted. And that energy is not good for you. It's harmful. It does not act in one day. It's over time. The effects will come up. Like eyesight, brain fire, brain tumor, and a whole lot of things. And that's why we say, when you want to talk for long, put it on, speak out. So people now diverted to earpiece. Without remembering that that earpiece that is a magnet inside it too. That is not meant for you to put it on all through the day. Yeah, there's something in your ear. Music is blasting in your ear 24 hours. And you think that you are the person, and you the rain, and you the shine pass, see my God life. You are causing more harm to yourself. And you never can tell what these things will do to you after a period of 5-10 years. And then the last one is, and that is what we call the test neck. There's a disease called test neck. Test neck. Test neck is after when you are used to testing for development, you go like this. It's a disease. Test neck. So these are things we must run away from. And when we are addicted to that, then you lose concentration. Some people are driving and they have phone in their hands, one hand on the phone. Even people who riding bike. It's riding motorcycle that you know the way the handle is. You use one hand, 9 with one hand, 10 as a ball. It is not good. They are not well in the digital world. So then one of the things we can do to balance this is removing what we call notification. For example, if you're a student you want to read, there's a feature in Microsoft Windows 11 or others that is called Focus. If you want to use your computer, let's say 30 minutes without any distraction, you go there and click on Focus. When you click on Focus, it no longer alerts you when there is a message or there is anything, so that you can focus on what you are doing until you are done. You see students, I'm a lecturer, so you see students, this phone is their greatest enemy. I came to class one day, the lecturer was in the class, I was coming from behind. Somebody was playing football game with the phone. The lecture was going on. Mathematics lecture for that. And that's going from the back. He shocked. I said, your father, this game, your father will see. He said, let us answer that leg. What did you learn today? So I'm sorry. What did this man teach? So I'm sorry. That is it. The same thing everywhere. You will call him these days, children are deaf. You people are deaf. Somebody will shouting outside. You are enjoying music inside. And they move on again. You are enjoying music inside. There should be time for these things. There should be time for them. You have to visit well. When you are balanced yourself, so you can now talk about these things. You talk about your physical health, which I have discussed now. Your mental health, that is another one now. Some people create some very toxic platforms, and that platform, anytime you go there and come back, you're not the same. It disturbs your mental health, so you have to be well. Then your spiritual health too. Some of the things people post on the internet, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, deceives people. You see a lot of things and you think that they are like that. And then you begin to lose your sense of spirituality. You begin to lose the sense that there is God or things like that. Please be careful. Then social health. This one is very, very common now. Isolation. And a boy of 15 killed himself in the UK because he had a girlfriend, an AI girlfriend. So they notice that every time he no longer stays with the parents, he was always in his room locked up, was conversing with this. And one day he told the girl, I want to come to where you are. The girl told her, I'm not fine, I only come to me if you are dead. He got there and shot himself to die with his eye friend. He said, Google it, you'll see it on the news. So that's it. So some of these things, I think I saw the Nigerian boy who bought this Android girl. An Android girl. You know the Android girls now, you know about that? AI, robot that you can buy. I've not seen Android man, I've only been seeing girls. Robot that you can buy, you buy a wife. You know Elon Musk built for himself a wife, a robot wife, that after when you charge it, you go down after 28 days, that is her cycle, and then you charge again, like that. So he's selling them, and people are already importing them, Android wife, Android girls. And plus boys, they will like that one, because that one is no disturbance, nothing like argument, nothing like argument. So, but let's be careful. Then, intellectual health, and of course, your privacy, your safety. The more you post things online, the more you go online, the more you expose your privacy. That's like. So, what's the role of the youth in all this? You have a lot of role to play. One is teach yourself, get education. Tell yourself these things. Okay, look go. If you have forums, you have a lot of forums there. Let there be a day that somebody talks to you through your platform. Somebody sends things that you can read. Then community advocacy. Promote digital campaigns. Let the younger ones know about cyber crime. Let them know about these effects. The youth can organize a small talk for people in primary school, people in secondary school, so that they become aware of what we are talking about. And then, how do you conquer that? By taking advantage of skill development. Develop online skills. There are a lot of online courses you can grab there, and then build yourself. And then ethical leadership. Utilize digital platforms to inspire, mobilize, and address challenges, not to cause problems. Use these platforms to inspire others. Use it to address challenges. For example, this program that we are having now will have a hybrid, so that people who will not come for very genuine reasons can also be watching it at home or participating at home. That is where the world is now. So you can like positivity, not for something that is negative. So the role of parents have their role to play, because charity begins at home. If you are not well brought up, then really going to affect how you do these things. A lot of persons have lost control of homes. Parents, if they care, you buy food for your child. There should be a policy on phone usage. There should be a policy on phone usage. Age of somebody that can use phone. And then age of people that can, you did that, you just get somewhere without knowing that some of these things. When you install them, you agree, there's an agreement, you agree, without reading the agreement details. So we have to make certain policies that will help us on how we use them. So we have to teach our children, how to support them, encourage their decision-making so that they get the right decision, model their what leadership should be, how it should be. Sometimes people shy away from leadership because of the way we do leadership here. But if you go overseas, that's where you see that the monitor here from our primary school that they value it a lot. I've written references for people, and most times people will tell me something, right, like I was this, right, and those people get it. Because the people that are coming there as a leader, they are coming there as someone that has something to offer, not coming to be a nuisance. So we start this earlier. That's what parents need to do. Parents need to control how their children get into these decades. You remove from that and cry, and so what? Let them cry, but I cry to them, know that going there is wrong. Do we monitor what they go through? Do we monitor what they use? Do we monitor the software that they have? Like, remember that they are the Gen Zs, the alphas. They know how to operate these things more than yourself. It's like it's inborn. Because some of them start operating while in the talking. Yes. as the woman is present, maybe the child is seeing it from there and getting addicted to it. So we have to start early enough to caution them. We have to start early enough to teach them where to go, to make right decision, to make them know when to stop. And it must be from you. You start it first. You cannot tell your child, don't press phone when it is time, and then you are pressing it at that time, without giving the person a new reason why you are pressing it. And if you watch children, once you are using any software, if a child comes, he wants to see what you are doing. True or false? He wants to see. And if he likes it, when you are not there, you will go there. One day I was somewhere, I just got a lot on my phone. What an alert. When I came back, my son told me, Daddy, I can play that now to the level 14. I don't know, I was using my this is to buy the levels. And I immediately deleted that game. People know. Don't come here and play to level 14. How much do you get? That I use my money. Go and do this. So we have to do all that so that all these things will be used responsibly. Please, next slide. So, practical call to action for the software students. Sorry, I made this mistake. I don't know. It's supposed to be IYA. Software Youth Assembly. Establish digital responsibility club, where you say the person that does this post are the best. You know, in your platforms, if you copy what's let's assume Meta now, tell Meta to give you a chart or a graph of how people have made posts on your platform. You generate this for you. And I say, this person that made the best, meaning most people posts that had more likes, or have posts that had this, or posts that was more educational, and then you can give reward such kind of things. So people become more responsible. You know, so you can have the software use digital pledge, a pledge that somebody will pledge to be sure that he gives his or her best whenever he is on the digital space. Develop such things, and then have a core idea of digital pledge. Of course, is about self-regulation, ethical behavior online, and so forth. That's what the pledge is all about. When you do these things, you encourage people to be more positive online. Next slide, please. So that is where I call it to the close. Thank you very much.
Please, this is not good enough. Your best is expected. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. I love this. When I tell